You smile because
Let
I know
me,
those
let,
antioxidants get you
I,
excited, but
I love that you brought that up because one of the things, and first of all, let me reiterate exactly what you said. We're not talking about curing or managing a disease or a health problem. We're talking
right,
about supporting health here. All
absolutely.
these compounds necessarily, of course, have a role in supporting resilience in the face of disease. And that's why, as a physician, I'm excited about these kinds of compounds. And I was very skeptical several years ago, extremely skeptical, because I focused, like most of my colleagues, on fixing the acute problems. Somebody's about to drop dead. What do you do?
Mhm.
Nutrition is long. Acute medicine is very quick.
Yes.
Nutrition is powerful, but it's long and it's gradual. One of the things that's incredibly important here, this is not a set of drugs. This is a set of micronutrients.
Yes.
There are a huge number of products out there, nutritional supplements, labeled as nutritional supplements, which are not. As far as I'm concerned, they're drugs
Yes.
because a gram of vitamin C in my world is a drug
Mm.
with pluses
Wow.
and serious minuses.
Hmm.
The amount of vitamin C in the L-arginine supplement is 100 milligrams. That's what you need, especially if you're exercising and sweating on a regular basis. Vitamin C is water soluble. You need it if you're under a lot of stress. You must have your lemons on a long sea voyage so you don't get scurvy. But the point is here, as a formula, this is a nutritional formula. This is not a pharmacologic formula. It is a nutritional formula that is put together, assembled, and distributed under medical standards. Um, I can't
And
emphasize.
you've seen the testing, right? You came
I
out and
have
visited
I
our
have
facility.
I have walked the floors of
Yes, you
the
have.
manufacturing facility and the laboratories.
Hmm.
I've sat with the regulatory people and the science folks. Um, Now to bring back the other two products here, so we have a suite of three products. We've got the
Hmm.
L-arginine supplement with the
Hmm.
berry micronutrient suite.
Hmm.
We've got now the aloe vera beverage.
Yes.
And this is the nearest and dearest to my heart. I love this because of how rapidly aloe vera beverages, particularly the Forever Project product, have been recognized not only for its quality and its appeal, but for what it can bring to the table in terms of health promotion. You all hear you all hear probiotics and prebiotics and symbiotics thrown around. Very, very simple how this works. Probiotics are organisms that are friendly to you. They promote health. Probiotics um, are fermented. Um, uh, Probiotics ferment various big polysaccharides and fibers in the gut. From that fermentation, you get short chain fatty acids. You have heard about butyrate and propionate and acetate. All these short chain fatty acids are incredibly important for fuel for the entire sea of microorganisms that comprises your stable and healthy microbiome. Your microbiome not only consists of all the bacteria, all the bacterial flora in your gut, but 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 it, but all the viruses that drag genetic material around, and all the residual compounds from everything that you eat. So you have this huge intestinal microbiome. You have an oral microbiome, which is distinct. You have a vaginal microbiome, which is distinct. We have various regions in the body where we've come to appreciate very specific and very stable collections of organisms that can be affected under stress. And when that happens, you're more vulnerable to illness and, in general, feeling a certain amount of malaise and palpable fatigue. So What we have here is an aloe vera beverage. The main magical ingredient in aloe vera, in my estimation, is a sugar called asamanan. Asamanan single-handedly, probably in the last 3.5, 4 years, drove a new field, which established new journals, new departments of study, and new degree programs called glycobiology. Glyco for sugar. Asamanan is a big, long sugar, a polysaccharide. This sugar can be fermented by gut bacteria. It's used as fuel. So that fuel keeps those bacteria healthy. They then produce the short chain fatty acids. They produce a host of other things, neuropeptides, special proteinaceous compounds that act as hormones that actually link gut and central nervous system and brain functions, that modulate neuroendocrine activity by virtue of both receptor-mediated systems and non-receptor mediated systems. So these are pleiotropic, a lot of big words here, but they're complicated. I want to emphasize that they're complicated. They're powerful, they're complicated. Together, we now have the fuel for your bacteria. Arginine represents the circulatory support. And then we have the combination of 6 probiotics in the Pro-B product itself. So, though don't get me wrong, the number of strains in a probiotic does not determine its functionality. It is the choice of the science
I
that
love
work
that you said,
together.
I love that you said that, Dr. Pressman, because that's what makes our probiotics so special is the choice of strains. We've got, you said it doesn't matter the strains. You have to be selective about those strains. We've got 6 strains, one of them which was actually clinically tested in the children's wing of a hospital in Copenhagen, Denmark. And we've got powerful clinical studies on those strains together, but also in the final formula. We've tested to make sure that these microorganisms stay alive and that they are present and that they populate. We have those tests. I'm not going to go into the details about how we get those tests. I'd leave that for you, but we've got those clinical studies. So when you look at the synergy between those strains, it's not that they go in and they kill bad bacteria. Those microorganisms, they wake up, the aloe vera feeds them, they're very hungry, and they begin to find like microorganisms and they populate to really balance out. They grow in a way that kind of prevents the bad bacteria from overpopulating that gut microbiome. And it just generally leads to this overall feeling of wellness. So I love how you said it. RG circulates it, Forever RG Plus circulates it. Aloe Pro, or the Forever Active Pro B, it grows that healthy environment. And then for the Forever Living's iconic product, our aloe vera gel, delivers nutrients to those live microorganisms and helps the body absorb that in a more efficient way. So when we get that gut microbiome in a more stable way, as you know, the science behind that is powerful about the overall it's a chain effect or a knock-on effect of how that impacts the body.
That very well said, I think, and there's a recognition also that as powerful fuel source as the asamanan is in the aloe vera beverage, it may not be the optimal fuel for some of the other organisms that we want there in that group. So what did Forever do? They added another prebiotic.
Yeah.
So to just as a fallback, to be compulsive and thorough. And remember this, part of our mantra here is compulsive and thorough. That makes for good medicine. It makes for good nutrition. So we've got a fructo oligosaccharide, an 8-carbon sugar, plus a mineral, which is going to support whatever bug is not completely happy with the asamanan, or perhaps the consumer has run out of the aloe vera beverage and isn't able to take it. So you want to take probiotics meaningfully. For years, we took probiotics and we weren't sure what kind of effects we were getting because we weren't necessarily providing the fibrous polysaccharide fuel for them. Then we discovered, again, very recently, that you have to match the prebiotic to the probiotic. And this is an example of a beautiful orchestration within each product of complementary ingredients which are formulated properly. And by properly, I mean to be bioavailable and not simply to be voided in the world's most expensive urine. I'm talking about proper doses in
Right.
a form that is bioavailable so that we have this entourage effect that's the result of all this stuff working in complementary simultaneous fashion.
You know, you talked about the fructooligosaccharides and the what we say at ace-mannan. So you say it again, it was asamanon. That's new. We've been saying it wrong, or maybe we say it right both ways. But you're looking at two different sources of those sugars that can feed those live microorganisms. We've put the fructooligosaccharides inside the Aloe Forever or the Forever Active Pro B, so that again, as you mentioned, we don't have a one bullet fits all, a one ticket fits all. We have to have multiple points, and there has to be smart science applied. You can't just create a probiotic and say it has, 60 billion CFU and you've got, 50 different strains. It has to be smart, strategically selected, formulated with science, clinical studies, which we have, and the science to back it. And then you add aloe vera, and as you mentioned, then you get this complementary kind of the circulation, for lack of a better term, effect with the RG plus, that circular drive. Then you've got your Forever Active Pro B that's growing that gut microbiome, and then you've got our powerful aloe vera gel that's really feeding and really adding value to those other two products and other products that Forever Living Products produces. So, and as you know, quality is always at the center of what we do. Quality and science, which is why you are so valuable to our team. You and Dr. Pressman and Dr. Hayes and Dr. Clemens are so valuable in the contributions that you make. I get the pleasure and the privilege of working with you from a formulation standpoint when we're creating new formulas. And we can't talk about the new product we're working on right now, but we have a collaboration going where you have provided me the right doses of those micronutrients, of those vitamins, those key minerals to put, and the right form. The right form is important as well. And so we just take what you have and bring to the table, and we apply it in these products, and then we deliver these beautiful, as you mentioned, supplemental complementary benefits to our FBOs that they can then go out and promote and share, and most importantly, personally derive the benefits from these products. So Dr. Pressman, it has been so lovely having you today. We're actually going to pop into the chat really quick and take some live questions from our FBOs, and you and I are going to tag team these. I'll have you answer some and I'll answer some. So I'm going to ask Pam to bring me those questions really quickly.